I recently acquired some vintage records from my grandma's collection because she doesn't use her record player anymore, and I just couldn't let these records sit around. These 7 records range from the early 1960s to 1980, and they are all either music theater or Disney albums. So if that's right up your alley, that's great. We are going to be amazing friends. And if you're like, then maybe this isn't the collection video for you. But I am simply just a Disney theater kid at heart, and I have to express it. When I got these a few days ago, I did already take the time to clean them up and sleeve them. They are not in the best condition, but some of them are better than others, and others are pretty bad, but I'm glad I have them regardless. My mom is actually the one who picked these up for me, and the number one record on my list and the one that inspired me getting all of these records is The Music Man. This is the original movie cast, original soundtrack from 1962. Fun fact, I just watched the Music Man movie for the first time ever last night, but the reason that I wanted this one specifically is because I remember listening to it with my grandma when I was 10 years old because my 5th grade choir did The Music Man. And by that, I mean we did a melody of the songs and just kind of put all of them together. And when I brought it up to my grandma, she was like, "Oh my gosh, I have that on record." Did I know what records and record players were when I was 10 years old? No, I did not. But I remember listening to this, and this one is probably the best condition out of all of them. Here is the cover, and then here is the back with a little blurb from Meredith Willson. This one definitely fared the best because it was still in its inner sleeve when I found it. All of the others, they were just hanging around in the cardboard. I actually haven't looked at this yet. The first name in entertainment, Warner Bros. Records. So I guess it was just a big advertisement for a bunch of records that they had available at the time. I was listening to this record yesterday, and the sound on it, still amazing. So thank you, inner sleeve. Here is side A, or side 1, whatever you want to call it, and side B or side 2. There's definitely a couple of scratches on here, but as far as when I was listening to it, there was a little bit of static where it was picking up some things, but it didn't take away from the overall sound, which was phenomenal. But I just love musicals, and I love big dance numbers. That's what I miss about musicals. We just don't do musicals like we used to. I want more big, fun dance numbers. And I have a feeling the soundtrack will be a good background noise while I'm reading kind of vibe. It fits it. Okay, now I want to go into the Disney records. I have the Best of Disney Volume 1, and based off of my research, aka like 2 Google searches, this came out in 1978. The collection of songs that it has on side 1 is Zippity Doo Dah from The Song of the South, The Unbirthday Song from Alice in Wonderland, Bippity Boppity Boo from Cinderella, Everybody Wants to Be a Cat, The Aristocats, I Want to Be Like You, The Jungle Book, Whistle While You Work, Snow White, The Bare Necessities, The Jungle Book, Hi Ho, Snow White, Who's Afraid the Big Bad Wolf, The Three Little Pigs, Once Upon a Dream, Beauty and the Beast, The Siamese Cat Song, Lady and the Tramp, Casey Jr., Dumbo, and It's a Small World. I love It's a Small World. I love It's a Small World. I love It's a Small World. It's one of my favorite attractions. I don't care if people say the song is annoying. I adore it. So here is the cover, and then here is the back. And I absolutely love that on the cover, Sleeping Beauty, aka Aurora, is in her blue dress, and Cinderella is in a pink version of her ball gown. I don't know, we just don't see Aurora in her blue dress a lot, so I appreciate that. The Music Man is the only record that I have listened to in full of all of these. All the other ones I've just done 1 or 2 songs. But the condition of Volume 1 is very good. It's got some little blemishes on it here and there, but I think overall the sound on it will be really good. So here is the front, or side 1, and here is side 2. I've gotten a handful of Disney movie soundtracks on CD that I love listening to as background noise as well. I just can't have silence for some reason. I just need some sort of musical tune while I'm reading or doing something, just noise. And I feel like it'll be very fun listening to Disney music on my record player. Now we have our first and luckily only casualty of this video, and that is The Best of Disney Volume 2. It also came out the year 1978. This one cannot be saved, unfortunately, but let's look at the list of songs before I show you the state of this record. The cover is the same, just in yellow and different pictures down here reflecting the movies that are in the track list. We have When You Wish Upon a Star from Pinocchio, A Spoonful of Sugar from Mary Poppins, Little April Shower from Bambi, Oodie Lolly from Robin Hood, Someone's Waiting for You from The Rescuers, Disco Mouse, Mickey Mouse March, The New Mickey Mouse Club, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Mary Poppins of course, Lavender Blue, Dilly Dilly, So Dear to My Heart, The Wonderful Thing About Tiggers from Winnie the Pooh, I've Got No Strings, Pinocchio, You Can Fly, You Can Fly, You Can Fly, Peter Pan, and It's Not Easy from Pete's Dragon. Do you see it? I don't know how well it's picking up, but I feel like you can see it. She's warped. She's warped. She's been through a different dimension. And there's unfortunately no saving her. So I think I'm going to put this record on my shelf over there because I've got an empty space there now. So I can still show off the beautiful cover of this. But unfortunately, I will not be able to play this record. But it's okay. 1 out of 7 casualties for all of these records being how old they are. Yeah. I'll take it. The last Disney record I have to share is the official album of Disneyland / Walt Disney World. This came out in 1980, and the songs on here, we have side 1, Main Street Electrical Parade, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Music of Main Street, which includes the Dapper Dans, the Saxophone Quartet, and the Main Street Pianist, The Enchanted Tiki Room, The Bluegrass Boys, and Country Bear Jamboree. And on side 2, we have the Disneyland Band, It's a Small World Again, love her, the Steel Drum Band, the Haunted Mansion, the Royal Street Bachelors, America Sings, the Fife and Drum Corps, and the Hall of Presidents, Mr. Lincoln. Here is the cover, and then here is the back. Listen, when I first put this on a couple of days ago, when I was seeing the quality of all of these, I started tearing up with the Main Street Electrical Parade. I will not lie to you. How many times have I seen that parade in my life? Maybe twice. But there's something about that fun little music that I'm like, brings a tear to my eye. Just call me a Disney adult already. It's fine. I'm embracing it. I feel like when I was visiting my grandma when I was younger as well, because I've always been a very Disney gal, I feel like we put these records on at some point. I don't know which it would have been of these, but I feel like we did. But then again, I did not really understand records nor respect them when I was a youngster. What am I even saying? Okay, again, I've not listened to this one in full. There's some stuff I need to look into with this. So here is the front, and if you can see, there's a little blemish down there. There's something stuck on there that I cannot get off. So I'm gonna have to do some research onto that, simply because even if that song is unfortunately ruined, I can still get the record to play and it not screw up my needle. So I'll do some research on that. And then side 2 does have a semi-large scratch going through it over here. But overall, that's the only damage to it. So I'm going to do some digging into how I can get that little blemish stuck on there off and give this one a spin the entire way through. Okay, and now we have some cast recordings from either Broadway productions of musicals or musical theater productions of these musicals. I have the original Broadway cast recording of The Sound of Music. Based off my little bit of research, this was recorded in 1959. I'm not exactly sure which one would be the front and which one would be the back. I have a feeling this one's the front. And then this way, here's the back. And this has reminded me that I really need to rewatch The Sound of Music. I've not watched it since I was like in middle school, because in my 6th grade choir class, I was a choir kid growing up, we sang, was it My Favorite Things? A few of my favorite things. It'll say it in here. Yes, My Favorite Things. That was like one of the first choir songs I think I ever sang in middle school. I watched the movie at some point and I really, really need to rewatch it again. Maybe that'll be tonight's plan. And this one also has a fold out where it's got information about the musical, some pictures from the production, all very cool. Love. Okay, so maybe this one is the front and this one's the back. That would make sense. This one also has some scratches on it, and when I played it, it had a fair amount of static to it, but not overly so, at least in the first song. So here is side 1, and here is side 2. I'll definitely have to give it a listen all the way through and see, but I'm only seeing some light scratches throughout it. Second to last, I have My Fair Lady. This is the 10th anniversary gold label issue. It's featuring top Hollywood vocalists. Namely, there's Evelyn Sharp, Charles Peck, and Robert Bach. Here is the front, and here is the back. I believe that this was recorded in 1957. So here is side A, and here is side B. This one also has many scratches across it, but nothing that affects the audio too much. And last, and maybe, possibly least, I have favorite songs from Mary Poppins, the soundstage chorus recorded in London, England. I could not find an exact date for this record, but it was sometime in the 1960s. That's the best I could get. Here is the front, and here is the back. As you can see from all the tape across it, this one was very loved, and the record shows it as well. Here is side 1 and side 2. It's definitely, of the ones that still play, the most damaged, the most scratched up. I haven't gotten the best audio out of this one. There's also a blemish on here that I need to take care of as well, but it plays. And I love Mary Poppins. It's another movie I need to rewatch. And all of the scratches just means that it has been well loved and played a lot. Those are the 7 records that I picked out from my grandma's collection. She had quite a few more, but they were all either artists or musicals that I'm either not interested in or don't really know. And so these were my top picks in her lovely collection. And now that I have all of these, it definitely has opened me up to thrifting and finding secondhand records. I mean, I'm still very new to collecting, so it's not like I've been turned off of it or haven't been interested at all. But now that I have some vintage records, I'm definitely more inclined to keep my eye out for other Broadway recordings or combinations of songs or soundtracks. And as my record collection continues to grow in every way, shape, and form, I'll continue to share my finds with you guys because I love talking about music, and this has been so fun learning about different forms of music, and I love it. I love music. I think it's just so fun, and it brings people together, and no matter what your music taste is, everyone loves music. Okay, that was a little sappy. This is what happens when I talk about musical theater and Disney for however long I've talked about it. But thank you guys so much for watching and taking interest in this haul that I'm very excited about, my collection. And I'll see you guys in my next video.